The secret teachings of semen retention are not only for sages and yogis, they are equally powerful for men walking in the modern world of business, where focus, energy, and clarity decide success or failure. A businessman, unlike a monk, lives amidst markets, meetings, and negotiations. Yet the principle of conserving life force energy gives him an invisible advantage. The seed is not merely a biological fluid, but a reservoir of concentrated energy, and when it is preserved and directed, it fuels creativity, confidence, and discipline are the very qualities a man needs to succeed in competitive industries. Businessmen who have quietly followed this path have discovered that mastery over desire creates mastery over decisions, and mastery over decisions creates mastery over destiny. The rules they follow are not random but systematic, built step by step, transforming raw energy into vision and power. The first step is awareness. A businessman begins by understanding that his seed is sacred energy, not something to waste casually. Instead of living in ignorance, he recognizes the truth that every drop contains vitality, focus, and inner fire. Awareness awakens respect, and respect creates discipline. Once he sees the seed as treasure, his relationship with it changes, and the old cycle of waste slowly loses its grip. This mental shift is the foundation upon which all other steps rest. The second step is control of habits. Modern life is full of distractions: social media, late-night indulgence, unhealthy company, and addictive behaviors. A businessman on this path cuts off triggers that drain his energy. He limits unnecessary screen time, avoids pornography, reduces idle gossip, and stays away from negative circles. Each habit he leaves behind frees energy for higher purpose. With this control, he not only guards his seed, but also guards his time and mind, which are his greatest assets in business. The third step is channeling energy into work. Retention without direction is stagnation, but retention with purpose is transformation. A businessman uses his preserved energy to push harder in his field, whether it is sales, investments, or entrepreneurship. Instead of being distracted by urges, his focus deepens in research, networking, strategy, and execution. The energy that once pulled him towards short-lived pleasure now fuels long-term goals. This creates a competitive edge because while others tire and lose focus, he remains sharp and consistent. The fourth step is physical discipline. The businessman knows that stored energy needs grounding, otherwise it builds restlessness. He invests time in exercise, yoga, or martial arts, building a strong body that can handle stress and long hours. With a disciplined routine, his body becomes a channel for energy rather than a prison of frustration. His posture improves, his handshake becomes firm, and his presence begins to radiate authorities, small but powerful signs that inspire trust in clients, employees, and investors. The fifth step is meditation and visualization. The secret teachings say that semen energy, when directed upward, sharpens intuition and vision. The businessman spends time each morning in silence, breathing deeply and visualizing energy rising from the base of the spine to the mind. In this stillness, he sees his goals clearly and receives insights that others miss. This practice turns him from a reactive man into a proactive leader, capable of seeing opportunities before others do. Meditation also gives him calmness, which is priceless during negotiations or crises. The sixth step is creative transformation. The same energy that creates life can also create new ideas, strategies, and businesses. A businessman practicing semen retention finds that his mind becomes fertile ground for innovation. He begins writing plans with clarity, designing solutions, and creating value that sets him apart from competitors. Instead of chasing pleasure, he channels energy into creation. Many great entrepreneurs and inventors secretly practiced similar discipline, finding that their strongest breakthroughs came during periods of celibacy and focus. The seventh step is leadership by aura. Retention builds a magnetic presence that cannot be faked. Employees feel motivated in his presence, clients trust his words, and partners respect his discipline. His energy communicates without speaking. This aura comes not from manipulation, but from genuine vitality radiating outward. In the boardroom or the marketplace, presence often matters more than arguments, and retention amplifies it naturally. The eighth step is resilience. Business is full of failures, rejections, and stress, but a man conserving his seed develops strong nerves and patience. Instead of collapsing under pressure, he adapts and persists. Retention strengthens his mental toughness, making him less impulsive and more focused on long-term success. When others panic, he remains calm. When others quit, he continues, fueled by his inner reservoir. This resilience becomes his greatest weapon in a world where perseverance separates winners from losers. The ninth step is ethical balance. True retention is not about hoarding energy, but about living with higher purpose. The businessman who follows this path does not merely chase money, but also values service, honesty, and fairness. His preserved energy sharpens his conscience, reminding him that real success comes with integrity. Clients trust him, employees remain loyal, and his reputation becomes his strongest currency. Ancient masters taught that energy used with dharma multiplies, while energy used in greed destroys. By following this, the businessman finds both prosperity and peace. The 10th step is spiritual connection. Even while engaged in business, the man practicing retention feels connected to something higher. His energy fuels not only profits, but also inner growth. He spends time in gratitude, prayer, or reflection, realizing that wealth without wisdom is emptiness. This spiritual grounding prevents arrogance and keeps him humble. He understands that his seed, preserved and directed, is a gift from the divine to fulfill his purpose. This realization makes his work meaningful and his success sustainable. These steps, though simple, require discipline. Many men fail because they seek shortcuts, but businessmen who master semen retention learn that true power lies in patience and consistency. Day by day, as they follow these rules, their energy transforms into clarity, their clarity into decisions, their decisions into results, and their results into legacy. The secret teachings, once reserved for rishis, prove just as effective in boardrooms and marketplaces. The seed, preserved and respected, turns an ordinary businessman into an extraordinary leader. The story of every successful businessman who practiced this art follows the same pattern. First awareness, then discipline, then transformation. They realized that mastery over desire is mastery over destiny. They did not suppress energy, but redirected it into building companies, leading teams, and shaping industries. Their lives became proof that semen retention is not only about spiritual growth, but also about practical success in the modern world. Thus, the secret teachings of semen retention guide the businessman, step by step, from awareness to mastery, from weakness to power. In conserving the seed, he conserves his destiny. In channeling energy, he creates wealth and impact. In balancing discipline with purpose, he achieves not only material success, but also inner fulfillment. The path is ancient, but its relevance is timeless. For energy is the foundation of all creation. Those who waste it remain ordinary, but those who guard it rise to greatness. Like, share, subscribe, and join our Telegram, Chanel.